Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Ilsley. I'm just going to here give a brief bio on myself. One of the greatest things that I have to confess is I do not know technology. Thanks to my classmates, I finally learned how to do this video, and which I am truly grateful for them. As many of you know, I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. Pretty much grew up with no religious denomination. I technically was born Lutheran, but since my parents divorced, and my dad sought help from the church, and the preacher said that, well, since you're divorced, you're going to hell. So my dad told the preacher that he's going to hell, and I didn't go to church. So, not growing up with any religion, I did have one family friend. She did read to me when I was real little the story of Joseph and the coat of many colors. And he was pretty much my only biblical hero that I knew about growing up. And I really liked his character, and I loved that story. And every now and then I'll read it often and reference it often as a sign of a good character in a human being. Some of my hobbies: I am a musician. I play the bass guitar as well as the upright bass, and I have just been putting money away to buy an upright bass from a friend of mine. And I ran into the director of the Idaho Falls Symphony, who told me if once I get this bass, I practice my chops, do some sight reading, and get to just practicing again, I'll go back to playing classical music, and which is a lot of fun, and I kind of miss it. It'll be good. I've chosen to pursue my MSW at NNU because one, to get my master's, it was either move out or move up. My job is dissolved at the bachelor's level, and the only reason I chose NNU is because I was surrounded by NNU graduates. And I thought they were pretty good people. The program seemed like a good program, so here I am. Let's see, any career goals? I think what I'd like to do when I graduate, of course, is I want to do some counseling. I also want to get more involved in macro, do some macro projects. I would not mind working on the food stamps and some of these type of services that are offered. I think some of them need to be adjusted. I think the school system needs to be looked into. There's some things like that I'd like to work into. Wouldn't mind getting into politics, not necessarily as the politician, but definitely behind the scenes and helping those. To take a self-care elective, I think is very important because I've been learning through the course and doing everything else like this. And now we're taking a trauma class. Secondary trauma is real. I believe it is very much. I know my wife has suffered it, and from her dad having PTSD coming from Vietnam, and with some of his temper tantrums that he threw, and before he got treatment, and that affects a little kid. And I can see sometimes, secondary trauma behavior. Also with our foster kid and some of the foster kids that we deal with, as well as some of the clients. So I believe self-care is very important, and it comes at multiple levels, and different levels, and I think spirituality is very, very important, because I believe that there is a God, and I believe that this life is a part of our bigger existence, and I also believe that we are asked, to go through several different trials and tribulations. And I believe that not only are we to have faith in God, but I believe that God has faith in us. And he gives us these trials and tribulations so that we will overcome them, and then we can then turn around and help others and help our brothers and sisters. Because in the end, we are all servants of each other. Just kind of the basics of what I believe. Again, I'm excited, and I look forward to the class. Thank you very much.